Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into a film that the title alone caught my attention as it explores the wild and complicated journey of motherhood, but with a twist, literally. We are talking about the movie Nightbitch, which stars the incredibly talented Amy Adams. Now, the question is it good? Is it great? Is it somewhere in the middle? Well, grab your popcorn and let's talk about this film in today's spoiler-free review. But first, let's get the conversation going in the comments below. Let me know if this is a film you all were excited to check out. But more importantly, once you've seen the film, let's talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And let me know if you are an Amy Adams fan. And if so, what is your favorite film of hers? Let's talk about it all in the comments below. Nightbitch chronicles the life of an artist played by Amy Adams who takes a break from her career to become a stay-at-home mom. Only things take a surreal turn when her nightly routine leads her to believe that she's turning into a dog. Yes, you heard me right. Right off the bat, let's talk about the star of this film, Amy Adams, who delivers yet another great performance as she electrifies the screen and just completely kept me captivated by her performance alone. She displays her unconditional love for her 2-year-old son with such care, but also with such frustration that comes with being a new parent, but she also mixes it with the overwhelming sacrifice of her own identity. Look, obviously, I'm not a mother, but I was raised by a single mom, and I should call her right now to get confirmation, but I'm pretty confident that she 100% agree with the authenticity from Amy Adams' portrayal. She's so great in this role, as I believe a lot of mothers out there, especially first-time moms, will agree with the struggle that we see Amy Adams going through raising her 2-year-old son. And I'm sure every parent, whether it's mom, dad, whatever the case may be, I believe a lot of parents struggle with a newborn child and having that sense of like, what do I do? Am I raising this child right to be a good person? And Amy Adams, who I've been a fan of for such a long time, she is the heartbeat, the beating heartbeat in this film. And I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a nomination because she is that damn good in this film. And she has such a good mix of humor, but also great poignancy. And going back to the humor of this film, it's been such a while since I've seen Amy Adams play into humor, and it really comes just so natural to her. And there's just moments in this film from the very start that just had me laughing out loud due to, again, the authenticity of her reactions, whether it's the highs and the lows with coming with being a new parent. Now, switching gears and talking about when the film takes a very unique and strange turn, and that's when the film adds in a strike of this humorous note in which we see Amy Adams' character has this bizarre transformation into a literal dog. Now, it's an imaginative twist that serves both as comedic relief and a compelling metaphor for the primal instincts of nurturing. Now, with this inclusion comes some scenes that can feel out of place at points, but at the same time, it feels just right to the mental state of the character, what they're going through and how they see themselves. I did like how it ties into her own thinking of her own mother, who may have experienced a similar situation, but I think the new discovery could also speak to Amy Adams' character's experience having a midlife crisis that metaphorically happens to change her into this dog. And again, the film never gives you a definitive answer, like if she's literally turned into a dog or if it's all in her head, but regardless of what the fact may be, I like when a film kind of leaves it up to the audience interpretation. I think I'm pretty confident in if it was real or not, but again, let me know what you all thought about that twist. Did it work? Did it not work? But again, I thought it was just a nice, unique way to make the film feel unique and fresh in its own way in telling its story. I was really locked into what was going on and really enjoyed myself for the first half of the film, especially within the first 40 minutes or so. It has some really interesting dynamics that really mix comedy and drama and wackiness with the story very well. The story really did a good job in the first half of focusing on the relationship between the mother and child and the various aspects that come with motherhood, especially the element of parenting and how some can lose themselves in the process. But while the setup was so fresh, it's unique, it's comedic, it's compelling, I was so engaged. Unfortunately, when we get to the second half of the film, for me, that's when the film crumbles. Getting into my criticisms here, I felt the narrative shifted into the more conventional storyline, which in result, it loses its nuanced exploration of motherhood that it started off with. Instead of diving deeper into the psychological isolation and identity crisis that can arise when becoming a mother, the plot regresses to familiar tropes. For example, the dynamics between Amy Adams' character and her husband, who's played by McNairy, it kind kind of treads familiar ground. Their struggles feel very predictable and lack the depth that I initially hoped for. The emotional weight built up earlier scenes just doesn't land as powerfully as it should. Look, man, I like Scoot McNairy, and I think he's a phenomenal actor, and it's just funny because he plays a very passive husband in this film, and then just a couple months ago, he was very submissive in the film Speak No Evil, but I just didn't really like the relationship between the husband and wife in this film, because again, it was very tropey, very traditional, very predictable, very surface level, and I thought there could have been so much more to explore from his perspective, but it was just, again, it felt like a Hallmark, Lifetime, stereotypical relationship, and again, you knew exactly where it was headed. We also have the relationships with the supporting characters that are also mothers, and that also fell flat for me as well. Instead of exploring maternal bonds, we get these interactions that felt forced and extremely underdeveloped. I was really rooting for this film to dive deeper into the isolations that other mothers face and experience, but again, instead, it glances over the depth for a more safer and familiar territory. Now, I want to make this clear, I did not like the ending of this film either, and I want to make it clear in regards to I like the message in the ending. Like, I like where the character finds himself in the arc of like the whole movie trying to find a balance of peace and finding their mental health. I advocate that 110%. But my issue with the entirety of the second half, but in particularly in the finale, it all boils down to execution. And the way the film wraps up things felt too damn conventional. Again, it's like they had a great setup, but chose to take the path with least resistance. And the result, in my opinion, is a resolution that feels more superficial than satisfying. It really bums me out with this film. And I'm going to get to my final thoughts on my score here, but I was just so engaged in that first half. And it's just like, it's a completely different movie in the second half, and it really let me down. But before I get my final score and give you my overall thoughts, I want to take this time to thank you all for making it to this point in the review. If you guys could, if you enjoyed yourself so far and appreciate my review, hit the thumbs up, consider sharing this video, but also consider sticking around by subscribing to the channel. Overall, although we get a phenomenal performance by Amy Adams, and again, it's a very strong and nuanced performance and it's very vibrant, it simply just couldn't carry the entire weight of the film. What could have been a profound character study becomes a routine narrative that prioritizes predictability over originality. In the end, Nightbitch offers a tantalizing glimpse of what could have been a deep exploration of identity, sacrifice, and complexities of motherhood, but instead, we're left with in my opinion, a disappointing conclusion that leaves you craving a richer exploration than what it ultimately delivers. For me, I'm going to give Nightbitch a 2.8 out of 5, which again is so frustrating because the potential was there, especially with such a promising beginning. So that's my thoughts on Nightbitch. I'm pre-recording this because I was able to see this at a film festival here in St. Louis, and I believe the film has a release date on December 6th. I don't think it's worth seeing in theaters. Definitely give it a shot if you want to check it out at streaming at home. Again, I'm very aware that a lot of mothers are going to relate to this film and probably love this movie, and I loved it for the first half. But again, whether you agree or disagree, let me know your thoughts about this film, about Amy Adams' performance, your interpretation on the whole dog metaphor and all that stuff, and let me know what you think about the ending, and let's talk about it all in the comments below. Thank you all for watching today's review. I have tons of other reviews on the channel because, again, covered a film festival, got a lot of movies that I've seen, and again, I'm pre-recording this and I got a lot more movies coming out, so I'm very excited for this time of the year. But subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification, that way you don't miss out on all that content. Thank you all again for watching today's review. You all stay safe, and I'll catch you all on the next video.